Good to know.
That's right. Really. Hi, everyone. You're coming in on mute, I think. So if you need to talk at this stage, feel free to unmute yourself. We're expecting around 40 people tonight to come in, and currently we've got 15 there. So we'll just gradually let everyone in and let everybody get settled before we start. Looking forward to some pretty fine whiskies tonight. Whiskies that none of us have tasted. Well, I'm not sure, Kaitlyn might have tasted them already, but I'm not sure about that. She has, yes. Luckily enough. But we have not tasted these whiskies. These are the first time we've opened them, and it's the first time we'll get to taste them as well, so pretty exciting. Looking forward to it. Definitely. That will be a good evening. I'll get started in a minute. Just let everybody in, everybody joining on a little bit later than usual. This is a really nice interactive picture here you've got, Kaitlyn. So,
thank you.
I think we'd all have a barrel like that sitting in our living room.
No, I want a glass that never runs out.
It never fills up.
Never fills up, never runs out. Endless whiskey.
That's right. It's good. So hopefully everybody's got their packs. Again, we've used the juice bags this time, so hopefully they've all arrived and there's been no leakages, and yeah, everything's got to everyone in good condition. So that Kaitlyn knows, that's how we're sending out our stuff in little juice bags at the moment, so we feel that they don't break, we don't have leakage, and yeah, seems to be a better way of sending these out. It's probably not as sophisticated, because in Australia we generally call these things goon bags, and we have wine from these things, so we'll see what happens. Good. But we've also got our tasting mats, and we've got obviously everybody's got glasses set up for tonight. We're going to get started. We're going to there's a few people to still join, but we'll let them in as we're starting up. They might miss out on the first few whiskies. But thanks everybody tonight for joining us. And tonight we're going to be tasting some whiskey from the Kavalan distillery in Taiwan. The Kavalan distillery is still a very young distillery, but they're doing amazing things. I could probably say at the moment, Kaitlyn might turn around and say it's not true, but from what we've seen, it must be one of the most awarded distilleries in the world at the moment. It just keeps getting award after award after award. And the one award we want to look at tonight is the fact that the World Whisky Awards for 2021 have named Kaitlyn, who's on with us tonight, World Whisky Ambassador of the Year. So congratulations to Kaitlyn.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Craig.
That's all right. Thank you. It's a great achievement, Kaitlyn. Just were you excited?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Were you excited? How did you feel when you heard? How did you feel?
I feel deeply honored to receive that awards, but I also feel that the awards should go to the whole Kavalan team, because they keep working so hard to maintain the quality and consistency of the whiskey. Even we have to overcome the climate and a lot of the different parameters we have to set up for our own climate. So I think that is they face a very drastic climate to cope with. So I think the honor should go to the whole Kavalan team.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing an amazing job, but you are doing an amazing job yourself. I know that you've put a lot of really good presentations together. You've been to Australia as well a couple of years back. You've travelled around Australia and presented many tasting classes and educational classes. So and that's a hard thing to do. It takes a lot of energy and stamina and to travel and to do that. So it's a great big well done to yourself.
Don't be too modest.
Yeah, and don't be too modest about that. That's right. Yeah, we want to see you win it next year again. So that's unless I'm up for it. That's unless I'm up for it.
Yeah, I really hope to hope to attend a lot of whiskey shows in Australia very soon. Yeah, hope the lockdown ends this year. Yeah,
Very good,
then we can
definitely.
travel again.
Now, I am not the brand ambassador of the year, so what I'm going to do, Caitlin, is I'm going to pass this tasting class over to you, and I'll let you go through the whiskies with us and give us a bit of information on what we're drinking, as well as a little bit about the Kavalan distillery. We do have the chat on, everyone, that's available. We've got Anton here, our whiskey buyer at the whiskey company. He will answer all the questions. He'll also put up links to purchase the stock tonight. For everybody's information, the Artist Series, we only have one set left. So if you're interested, it might be a bit of a fight to get it, but there's only one more set of the Artist Series left in Australia to purchase. So I'm going to pass over to Caitlin, and yeah, everybody enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caitlyn Tsai. I'm the Global Brand Ambassador for Kavalan Artist Series, and welcome to Kavalan Virtual Tasting. This is the picture of our maturation warehouse. So in our maturation warehouse, the brewing and oxidation process of our maturation are extending in the winter time. So this actually enables the oak's flavorful substances to fully enter our whiskeys. So when you open a bottle of Kavalan and pour a gin, you can actually smell the fruity and floral notes in a distance. You don't have to put in your nose to the edge of the glass, and then you can nose a very subtle floral and fruity notes from the whiskey. And before we start, I hope we can watch a 3-minute Kavalan introduction video together. We can have a basic understanding of Kavalan distillery and its surroundings, how it looks like.
Along the boundary between mountains and sea, can you feel the birthplace of a legend? Taiwan. In Pacific Ocean breezes and snow mountain mists, we experience a small piece of history unfolding. Kavalan Distillery was established in 2005 and has started on a phenomenal journey ever since. Sacred mountains, nurtured in ancient ruthless. In answer to the call of mountain and sea, Kavalan transforms the soul of nature into the soul of a whiskey. From mashing, fermentation, and distillation to maturation and bottling, Kavalan treats every detail with exceptional care. Our state-of-the-art STR shaved toast recharge treatment defines Kavalan's mission for perfection. The flames awaken lost memories held within the barrels. The result is an exquisite whiskey, rich in flavor and perfectly balanced in quality. With over 450 gold medals and multiple championships worldwide, Kavalan has proven to the world its extraordinary quality and craftsmanship. It has placed Taiwan among the world's leading whiskey distilleries. Kavalan has upended the impossible using sheer innovation and uncompromising belief on its unparalleled quest to becoming a 100-year distillery. The goal of making world-class whiskey for centuries to come. Kavalan Single Malt Whiskey, pure Taiwan.
You can say that the logo is laid out very emphasize AAA, representing our persistence and pursuit of quality. And the words below are always single malt whiskey. So that means every draught of Kavalan whiskey you drink is single malt whiskey. the raw material is malted barley, and every drop of Kavalan whiskey is mash fermented, distilled, and matured at Kavalan Distillery. So before telling you the distillery stories, you can have a look at the, you don't have a bottle, but you can take a look at our cork. There is it is embossed with a classic car, which is the logo of our King Car Group, and it is the parent company of Kavalan Distillery. But actually, there is no relationship between King Car Group and the car industry, since cars have the energy to keep moving forward, and the Chinese pronunciation of King sounds like gold, symbolizing fortune and prosperity. So it is named King Car. And you can look at these pictures are the founders of Kavalan Distillery. They are also the soul of Kavalan Distillery, Mr. Lee, father and son. So for a long time before Kavalan was established, Chairman Mr. Lee Sr. had a very deep love for whiskey, and he dreamed of making 100% single malt whiskey from Taiwan. He had a very great vision. At that time in Taiwan, you can only drink something like brandy or a blended whiskey, but at the very beginning, he already nurtured a dream to make single malt whiskey in Taiwan. And King Car initially, actually, they made a household cleaning product and then entered the food and beverage industry in 1979 to produce mineral water, because we have plants in Yilan County. We have very pure and pristine water source, and also tea and sports drinks. And finally, the bonus encouraged helped King Car successfully build a Kavalan Distillery to represent Taiwanese on the world stage. And you can see, as you see, they were inductees to Hall of Fame at World Whiskies Awards in 2018. They are the first Chinese-speaking and also first father and son inductees. So they actually keep widening the scope of business by identifying trends. For example, we launched our gin series in 2018, and moreover, we have a new brand, Basking Beer, has also entered the beer market. So in the future, maybe you can taste Basking Beer in Australia. We are starting to export our beer too. So this evening, we are going to taste these 6 whiskeys and also Kavalan gin at the end. So from 40% ABV, there is the Kavalan Distillery Select. I hope you have get a glass of at your hand. So this one, this is the first whiskey we are going to taste, and I would say this one is showcasing in square shape as one of our entry-level expression at 40% ABV. We would say this year's Select #1 is only possible in Taiwan because it comes from a great variety of refill casks, and these refill casks in terms of neutral casks are already used for 20 or 30 years longer. These casks are usually regarded as inactive casks in the cold region, but if you look at the color it achieves at Kavalan, it is also a very beautiful amber color. And when you notice it, you can find all this beautiful ripened subtropical fruitness from coming out. And also, I personally feel it knows like Calvados, like apple brandy, because it is full of the red and green apple, and also the pineapple and honey. All these aromas, very beautiful. And on the palate, it is very silky and smooth. I would say this is the best daily drink at Kavalan for everyone. I also, sometimes I will just taste 10 milliliters and go to bed, and turns out you will have a very great sleep. There are more like creamy sweetness and also the butterscotch and toffee sweetness on your palate. And it has a very light wood spiciness. So it is so very smooth whiskey, very easy drinking one to, if you are a whiskey beginner or you're first to try Kavalan whiskey, you can taste our Kavalan this year Select as the first whiskey. So even this is a very entry-level expression, but it still get the gold medals from the main competitions. I would say this is a whiskey, so everyone can try this one, and it can be a daily drink. It is very accessible and very versatile in any kind of cocktails. So everyone knows that Kavalan comes from Taiwan, but I would like to show you the geographic location. We are southeast of China and below Japan and Korea, and northeast of Philippines. And China is only just 130 kilometers away from Taiwan at the shortest point. So a lot of people may have heard the issues between Taiwan and China, but we are actually, yeah, you can see we are very close to each other. And Taiwan is located in the Ring of Fire, which makes this tiny island one of the most earthquake-prone places in the world. So if you go to our maturation warehouse on the ground floor, you will see we tie the bourbon casks together. These are all 180 liter small casks. We tied it together to prevent it from falling because of the earthquake. And the Tropic of Cancer bisects the lower half of Taiwan, so dividing this island into subtropical. Kavalan Series is on the northeastern part of Taiwan, so we are in the subtropical zone and also tropical zone on the south. So these places, we have very great many plate motions. So if you come to Taiwan, you will see a lot of mountains. There are 268 peaks over 3,000 meters high. So if you are a mountain, you love mountain climbing, you can come to, and especially around Kavalan. So in our clips of our introduction video, that is actually covered by the mountains of 70% of the island. So you can imagine how many mountains we have here. But it has also become a natural reservoir, which produces pristine, clean, and sweet water for this island. And it is also very warm and humid here. If you have a look at Taiwan on Google Earth, you will see it's like covered by a piece of green blanket. Taiwan is very warm with high humidity and rains a lot in every season. So the climate provides forests and trees with a very good growing environment. That is also why you will think of this island as a very green island. So it also has a nickname, Formosa. The beauty of Taiwan was actually first recognized 4 centuries ago. So in 1590, maritime trade was growing rapidly in the Far East. When Portuguese settlers passed by the east coast of Taiwan, they saw our very lofty mountains and luxuriant forests. Apparently, there are reports that they shouted loudly, "Ila Formosa," which means beautiful island in Portuguese. So at that time, Taiwan got this nickname of Formosa. Taiwan is surrounded by the sea, so and there are therefore more exposed to Pacific Ocean winds. Our island is small, it's 400 kilometers long and 150 kilometers wide. So traveling around this island takes about 7 days by bike only. This very small island has high population density. There are 24 million people living on this very small island. We would say it's very cozy island, and we would say this place is a hidden vacation paradise, because in Taiwan, you can easily enjoy delicious food, massages, and hot springs. You can experience the night market culture and feel the warmth and Taiwanese. You can enjoy the convenience in concrete jungle and reconnect with nature anytime. So this is a place where let's move into see this located in the northeastern part of Taiwan here, in between Snow Mountain and Central Mountain Range. The township Yuanshan, where Kavalan Artist Series is based, is well known for its pure and sweet water. It has a nickname of hometown of water. So just like Speyside in Scotland, Yuanshan has unique geography, water, and natural humidity, creating the perfect condition for making whiskey. So if we look into the detail of Kavalan's water, Yilan receives rain over 210 days and no dry period over the year. That is because of there is the 3,886 meters snow mountain. It is like a natural reservoir, and Kavalan this year conserve abundant groundwater to use for producing whiskey. So this water directly supplies the distillery located in the foothills of the Snow Mountain Range. So after it has seeped down through the mineral-rich earth, it has absorbed a lot of vital nutrients and also something like magnesium, calcium, and zinc. So this creates optimal conditions for our yeast to ferment and lends our whiskey Kavalan signature silky smoothness and creamy mouthfeel. So you can taste our Kavalan this year, Select and Podium, and later we have so many whiskey to taste. You can find there is a nature sweetness inside. The creamy mouthfeel actually comes from our very pure water. To the back mountain to take. Also, we have National Trail just behind the distillery. So let's taste the second whiskey, which is Kavalan Podium. Beautiful purple, purple in Chinese culture. Actually, we thought purple is some kind of noble color. So you will see emperor or a very noble person. They will dress the purple color costumes. Or so let's taste the Podium. So Podium actually it comes from New American oak cask. So later you can compare this one with the virgin oak in the Kavalan Artist Series. But this one we use New American oak cask and also some refill cask to bat it together. You can notice that the spiciness and woodiness, and also the grape flavors. When you taste it, you can find out like also the hint of honey and some cherry, and on the finish you can feel the white pepper. This one is bottled at 46% ABV, but you will be surprised that even it is the American oak cask, but it can still be quite complex and also with the smoothness in the whiskey.
Am I right to
It's
say?
quite,
Am I right to say, Caitlin, that this one is being discontinued? Is that correct?
can you say that again? Sorry.
This one from the podium, I think it's being discontinued. You're not making it anymore. Is that correct? You've stopped making it?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe in the future we will discontinue this expression. So at the moment, at the moment you can still have some in certain markets, but in the future we will discontinue this one. But I think overall it is very fresh on the palate. It's very well paired with something like seafood, or I have tried to pair with some. It's very it is refreshing. So when you eat something it's very oily or very heavy, you can pair with podium. So you can refresh your appetite and also refresh your mouth. This one is also a gold medalist at World Whiskey Awards in 2021. So Kavalan was established in 2005. And at that time, we were the one and only whiskey distillery in Taiwan. Before Taiwan joined WTO in 2002, there was a government monopoly systems in government didn't allow any private distilleries, wineries, or breweries. So at that time, our founder, Mr. Lee, father and son, had already noticed the potential of single malt whiskey in Taiwan's market. So as soon as the monopoly systems was lifted, Mr. Lee led major whiskey producing nations to look at how they operate their distillery and what kind of equipment they use. So their goal was to create a blueprint for Taiwan's first whiskey distillery. At that time, Project Kavalan was officially started during that time. It took only 9 months to build the distillery and the maturation warehouse. But you can imagine at that time, most of people, they only drink Scotch, and very few people believe that we can actually build up the distillery in Taiwan because of the different climate. So even the founders' relatives, their friends, trying to I think not to just throw your money into water. So but he had that decision. He had made up his mind. So in just 9 months, he built up the distillery, and many Scottish friends have told me that it can take over 5 to 6 years to construct a distillery from zero to up and running. Perhaps being a family-owned business so allowed our very ambitious chairman to move more quickly. So in 2006, on March 11 at 3:30 p.m., the first drop ever of our new make in Taiwan was poured. That is a very historic moment, not just for Kavalan, but for Taiwan. So the key to making award-winning whiskey in just 16 years is this gentleman. He's Dr. James Wong, known as the Einstein of whiskey. When Taiwan joined WTO and removed its monopolies, we started Project Kavalan. We contacted many Scottish whiskey experts and invited them to be our distillery consultant. Their first questions was, where is Taiwan? Once they knew Taiwan was in the subtropical zone, they declined the invite because it seemed impossible to make whiskey in such a warm area. So if you compare Taiwan to the 5 well-known whiskey nations, Scotland, Ireland, United States, Canada and Japan. They are located in relatively cold regions. But fortunately, when Dr. James Wong heard that we wanted to make whiskey, he studied the local climate and geography. He accepted this challenge of setting up a new production parameters with the Kavalan team. He stayed in the distillery to teach us step by step. He always carried with him a scroll of whiskey, including the production details of hundreds of Scottish distilleries. And he worked closely with Kavalan team to deliver his knowledge and ensure the consistency of the production quality. So that is quite different from other nations. These are climates. So if you go to Kavalan Distillery, you will see our maturation warehouses are both 5 stories building. Inside the maturation warehouse is like a microclimate. The humidity is similar to Yilin County at around 80%, but the temperature increases the higher the floor. So in the summertime, temperature translating to 40 degrees Celsius at the top of the 5th floor. And the ground floor, usually it will be 27 degrees Celsius. So we came up with the strategy for storing different size of the cask on each floor to adapt the temperature for maturation. So on the ground floor, you can see the bourbon casks and some smoke refill casks. And if you go higher, you will see 225 liters white casks. And if you go to the 5th floor, you will see the sherry butts, 500 liters, and also some port pipes on the 5th floor. So that we can balance the maturation of different sizes of the cask. And in summertime, we will shut all the windows because we hope that we can trap the heat to create some kind of greenhouse effect inside of the maturation warehouse. It will just get warmer. So we have a very good extraction to get the color and the flavor in summer time. And moreover,
Hi, Caitlin. We're starting to lose you a little bit there.
It's just like you're cooking a gravy. As longer you cook, it becomes sticky and very flavorsome. But if you only have good extraction in summertime, the aromas will not come out that good. So actually in winter time, a lot of people may think that means Kavalan is good at extraction from Siberia in winter time. So, and also we are backed by 2 main mountains in Taiwan, Snow Mountain and Central Mountain Range. So it's like a hand-to-receive. In winter time, Taiwan, you can experience 10 degrees Celsius sometimes. So the action inside of the maturation ware to the whiskey and combined with the flavor at the beginning of the presentation, I would like to ask you to have a distance and to notice the aromas coming from the Kavalan whiskey because it is more aromatic in the winter time. So actually our diverse climate, hot summers and cooler winters in Yilan hugely impacts our maturation. It enables us to develop a very rich and last whiskey in just. So we also have a term.
Kaitlyn,
Is maturation redefined. It's
Kaitlyn,
actually
here. Sorry.
Dr. Jeans wants to say that because we kind of like take use the heat, harness the heat to speed up the maturation, and then we can have a quality. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you hear me?
It's very slow at the moment.
Can you liquid at the same time?
Kaitlyn.
So finally, we are moving on to Kavalan Artist Series. When we were Kavalan Artist Series, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Kaitlyn?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. You're cutting in and out at the moment, so the video, like we can see the presentation. So what I've done is I've switched your video off just to see if that helps at the moment, because we can hardly hear what you're saying. It's becoming very computerized. So I've just switched your video off for the moment, and we'll see how it goes. But it's just running along quite slowly, so that's okay. These things happen. You've been locked down and you're doing it from home and you're struggling.
So what do you want me to do?
Just go through them and I'll show the bottles. I've got the bottles in front of me here, so I can just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be the prop.
Okay. So I'll end the screen share, right?
Yeah, everything's still going. So.
Okay. Is that better?
Seems to be better at the moment. Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, okay. That will be great. Yeah.
Done. Let's see how we go.
Is that better? Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, see how that goes.
Let's see how that goes with the screen share off.
Yeah, sorry for that. So actually we brainstormed the definition of art and master, and we thought art can be defined as creating the ultimate expression of beauty, and a master means a person who focuses on the goals in mind and pursues the creation of this ultimate during his lifetime. So the Kavalan Artist Series is to showcase those Kavalan spirits, which are the result of us insisting on pursuing the ultimate in whiskey making. I remember there's a quote from Paul Chiang, the master artist we collaborate with. He said, "I spare no efforts and give my all to the creation of the art. All I want is a life with no regrets." It sounds very romantic. You can imagine all the hard work, all the sacrifices, and all the sleepless nights, and all the struggles they have been through. So therefore, the first edition of these 4 bottles have been made in collaboration with master artist Paul Chiang. He draws creative energy from his homeland, and his work was selected for interpreting the natural beauty of Taiwan, which resonates with our passion for our homeland Taiwan. So the first, you can look at the painting. The first painting is Pisidian, Morning Stars Over the Coast. Pisidian is an indigenous name, which means shepherd's land in Amis language. It refers to a stretch of Taiwan's eastern coastline. connecting Kavalan's home in Yilan County with Taidong County, where Paul Chiang is based. So Kavalan's story or dream starts in the ocean under a starry sky. And from here, moisture rises and eventually condenses above Snow Mountain, creating Kavalan very pristine, pure, and clean water. So I would say the ocean symbolizes the origin of the dream. This whiskey is aged in puncheon cask. The casks we use have experienced a long journey from Central and South America to Europe and then across the ocean to Taiwan. So at Kavalan Artist Series, we fill in transparent new make. I've tasted our new make at 60% ABV. It's full of mango, pineapple, and lychee and green apple into this puncheon cask. After years of maturation, you can see it achieved this very deep amber color. And you can catch very delicate aromas even when holding the glass away from you, very pleasant. It's like a freshly baked almond biscuits. And also the sweet peach. I think the sweet peach is quite distinct, and soft vanilla and sun cream flavors. This one, I think it will be at a very high strength. You can taste all these tropical fruits. It's like the flavors surging like ocean waves. It was with a very long-lasting finish. You can also see the whiskey that is quite sticky. This is a puncheon cask, and also the beautiful paintings on the bottle. And the second one is our virgin oak. This one we use the painting on Wings of Song. It's named after a Felix Mendelssohn piano piece. Paul Chiang is inspired by the musical arts, and actually you can look at the circular broad strokes. He imagined air particles and the beating of wings, creating the sensation of the air in motion. And actually he used the bottle caps to create this artwork. So you can see all these circles. Actually, he using different bottle caps to create this artwork. So the Kavalan dream takes flight in the air, and this painting can be seen as an artistic rendition of whiskey's maturation process. We use virgin oak barrels to form the body of this Kavalan symphony. The sweet notes, you can taste always. It's a bit like caramel and honey are very beautifully infusing this whiskey. Actually, we specially selected white oak from the mountains area of Missouri in the United States. So this oak with slower growth and very high annual rain density was used to build the virgin oak cask. And then we charred it as per our request to create a very unique caramel flavor and reducing the astringent taste brought by the tannins of the wood itself. So when you taste it, it's specially made. So it is, they have less tannins and also less astringency in this whiskey. It is more suitable for long-term maturation in Taiwan. it's actually quite powerfully begin with the grapes, juicy grapes, but you can find a very beautiful fresh floral notes inside. It is very full-bodied. Also some honeydew and the pear and a bit chestnut flavors will just slowly emerge on your palate. You can feel it is like a dance of air and aromas in your mouth. And the third one will be the French wine cask.
This is
This one.
Kaitlyn, the nose on the Virgin is just beautiful. It's such a great nose on it. You could just sit
Yeah.
and just smell that. So I think it's,
Yeah.
it's
See,
such,
even when you empty the cask, empty the glass, you can know so many beautiful flavors from it.
yeah. It really is. It's I'd imagine it dries really nice in the glass as well. So after you've had some, I know I go to a lot of whiskey tastings in Melbourne, and there's a lot of the guys that go to the tasting and they fill their glass up 15 ml, and they probably drink 10 ml and they leave 5 ml behind. And it's amazing how these sort of things change in the glass over just the space of an hour. And I would imagine this one's going to be the same. It's just going to open up in the glass. It's going to be, just this beautiful, the nose is just going to continue. But it's an amazing whiskey, certainly aroma. So I haven't tasted it yet. I just keep smelling it.
Yeah, the caramelized sugar is quite tasty on the palate. The whiskey.
It's really, really nice. And like you don't see very many virgin oak casks being used. I think they're being used more now, but in general, it's very hard to find whiskey matured in a virgin oak barrel. What was it you said again about the trees that you were using for this one? I think I missed it.
We used the oak at Missouri, but it is at the back of the mountain area, so it has a slower growth and also with more high annual rates. So it can be more dense, more dense for keeping. This is more good for Kavalan subtropical climate because you won't get too much tannins from the wood to the liquid.
Yeah.
And also we do the medium char level for the virgin oak. So it has the suitable amount of the caramel for the wood.
Right.
So when we taste it, it will not too sweet. It can be with some kind of very juicy grapes flavors from the cask.
Yeah, I think that Kavalan new make spirit, which is I think almost some tropical fruits, is sort of really combining. So it's like Anton's just said, it's like a macaron. It's like eating one of those little macaron biscuits, and it's just got lots of flavour on it. It's really, really nice, but it's still quite soft, even though it's a cask strength whiskey. I think what was that? 52.4%. I still find it quite soft in the mouth, and it's really, really nice. Yeah. Has anybody else got anything they want to share in the chat in regards to what they smell or taste? More than happy to share it out. But I really like that one.
I could sit with this for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely. Not enough of it in those packets. If anybody likes anything really that a lot, we've got a few packets left on our website if you want to buy another packet and enjoy another pack of them. But there you go. Back to you.
Okay, the third one we are going to taste is the French wine cask. So this one is also, I think it's 50 and 63% ABV between these two. So this art piece has the name, we have said that it's meditation on eternity. So I don't know what you may think about this painting. This actually reminds me the experience when I look at the sun for a short while and then close my eyes. So the bright sunlight will still be seen when the eyes are closed. You can see all this. So the golden sunlight in this piece represents sparks of hope, lighting the path towards the Kavalan gene. So the fiery red denotes both the intensity of purpose and the heat of the sun, and the sun life-giving warmth that uniquely enhances Kavalan's aging. So when you taste this whiskey, it is actually matured in French wine cask from the finest wineries in Bordeaux, France. So, but unfortunately, I cannot say which winery the casks are from. But look into the cask number on the bottle. Craig, I think Craig, you have the bottle. If you look at the cask number, the first two letters will give you the clue where the cask is come from.
H for hotel and B for Bravo. H.
Yeah, HB. Yeah. So
Bordeaux.
oh.
Can we say it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not sworn to any secrecy, that's for sure. You've actually released quite a number of whiskies that have been matured in French wine casks, but you've not been able to reveal where they're from. Why is that? So what's the story behind that with Kavalan?
I think you need a certificate when you buy this cask. You have to obtain the permits from all these like first growth wineries to allow you to use their name, or you cannot label it on your whiskey. You know, they have very restrict.
There are a few distilleries in Scotland now who, what they do is they put a QR code on the side of the bottle, and then you scan the QR code and you go to your website, and that's where all the information is. So, it's secretive. Everybody knows about it.
We'll have this do in the future. So this whiskey is dominated by berries flavor, also something like a blackcurrant. If you take a sip, you feel the dried longan. Dried longan in Taiwan is quite popular. It's kind of dry fruit, and we love to taste it with a cup of tea, and also some hazelnuts and the tannins from the whiskey. And if you slowly move from the upper edge of the cup to the bottom edge of cup, you may find something like toffee, apple, and the caramel in the glass. It's quite rich and opulent. This one.
It's very toffee apple-ish, like just incredible. It's just beautiful, like that really creamy golden toffee, and then you that beautiful apple through it. It's not too strong. It just sort of combines with the toffee, like the apple and the toffee combine really nicely together, really balanced together. Yeah. I like it as well. There's a little bit of sharpness of alcohol in the nose as well, which is really nice. It's really combining everything quite nicely, which I like. You know, it's yeah. licorice or something. Licorice or aniseed or something.
It's very balanced. I think it's very complex, but at the same time, it has so diverse flavors and also it's very deep.
Yeah. Mm.
How much alcohol content it has? This one for this one. I only have the small bottle. I cannot. Let me look at.
61.8.
This one's 61.8%.
And it does not feel like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, I have the.
I wondered if these bottles at 1,000 milliliters or a litre were too big. And after tasting the first three, I think that there's not enough.
Oh, this one at 62.6, but I don't feel that it is over 60%. Yeah, it's quite surprising.
Well, that's definitely very nice. Yeah.
So the next one we are going to taste is our PT malt. For me, I have a 54% alcohol strength PT malt. This one,
Everyone's at 54.8.
54.8. The final tasting the set is both homecoming and rebirth. So the green, yellow, blue represent Taiwan's East Coast lushness and the vibrant color, vibrant flavors and sense of Kavalan whiskey. So this Mother Earth bears the fruits of labor for both Kavalan and Mr. Paul Chiang and the seeds for the new growth. So the Kavalan dream becomes a reality at this whiskey. So we actually use more smoke with deep mine peat, and Kavalan's summer fruits are infused with the peaty smokiness in this one. You can notice it. It's like candy fruit. I feel like because we actually apply shaving, toasting, and recharring STR technique treatment to our barrel. So you can find something like the caramel and candy flavors from this whiskey. It's very beautiful. I would say Mother Earth is our first PT malt whiskey maturing STR cask. I just said STR stands for shaving, toasting, and recharring, which is the treatment we innovate with Dr. G's one. So at the first step, shaving, we will gently shave to get rid of some undesirable flavors. And then the casks are toasted and recharred in a way to bring our fruity vanilla notes. So you can find in this whiskey as well, the beautiful vanilla notes and also very complex fruitiness. So the caramel, also the chocolate flavor also comes from the when we gently heated the whiskey, gently toasted the cask. You can find the pittiness is not too strong. It's not like something very, very medicinal or very powerful Isla style PT. You can find it is balanced with the summer fruits and also some toffee sweetness together. It's quite very delicate pittiness.
I'm not a peated whiskey fan, Caitlin. I don't drink too much peated whiskey at all. I leave that up to my wife most of the time. That's her favourite, is peated whiskey. But it is very different to what we're used to coming out of Scotland. You know, it's like extremely different, which I quite like, because I quite like to be able to drink peated whiskey. I mean, I can taste it, I can kind of partake in tastings, but as far as somebody opening up a bottle and me pouring taking 60 mils of a peated whiskey, I generally can't do it. But with this, I think I could do it with this. I think it's nice, softness of peat. It integrates really, really well. It's well balanced. It's still got fruitiness to it. So I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
There's a particular something that I'm just can't put my finger on.
So after all this, we are going to taste Kavalan gin. Everyone can take a break. To drink some water to refresh your palate. So actually at Kavalan we have two types of stews. One is the German stews. We actually equipped in 2008. And before that, when we set up the distillery, we have Scottish pot stews. And at the moment, we have 10 pairs of Scottish pot stews and 4 pairs of the German stew. And the German stews, at the beginning, we did trying to produce the new make of Kavalan by German stews. But at the end, we found that because of there are so many plates in the German stews, so make it not fruity enough and also too pure for making the whiskey new make. So we repurposed to use all these German stews to produce Kavalan gin. So hope you have the glass of your Kavalan gin at hand. So we also use the water from Snow Mountain's ancient springs, and the difference is that we use only malty barley as the grain to produce our gin. So you may find something like the malty aromas from the gin, and also it is a very fruity gin. And the base spirit also double truffle filtration, and we also employ botanical extracts based on fruit varieties native to Yilan. So something like kumquat peel, and also the dry star fruit and the red flesh guava. All these are something you can taste in Yilan. So that is quite fruity gin I have tasted. I think the juniper flavor is not that distinct, but you can notice all these very complex and something native to Yilan County. And we also use aniseed and the lemon peel, something like that. But I think the red flesh guava and star fruits, kumquat peel, all these are very beautifully presented in this gin. Do you have the bottle, Craig? Yeah, so
we've got
it has a very special design for the, it's kind of graving sculpture. You can easily to catch the bottle, and when you pour out the gin, it's very good for the hands.
I don't know if you know a story about when Wendy from Kavalan, she came over with Caitlin, and Wendy was just after we had a whiskey tasting. We were back at the apartment getting ready to go to the next one, and the Kavalan gin was there, and Liam said to Wendy, "Turn off the lights, Wendy, turn them off." And Wendy, why? And she said, "I want to show you something." And you said, "Just turn off the lights." So Wendy turns off the lights of the apartment, and the gin part of the label glowed in the dark. Wendy didn't know that.
Yeah.
She told everybody at Kavalan that, and nobody knew that happened. The gin thing was actually a glow in the dark gin thing. You know, it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So you can easily find it on the shelf, actually.
Yeah, that's right. It's a beacon of light. That's right. Good. It's a great gin. We've I think you've changed the ABV on it, haven't you? The alcohol, you reduced the alcohol level. Is that right?
40%, right?
Yeah, it used to be 40, 46 or something, and I think you brought it down. I'm not recently. And it's in a 750 ml bottle instead of a 700 ml bottle, which we get mostly in Australia, is a 700 ml bottle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Definitely. We've got a lot of gins in the market here, so it's got a lot to play up to. And I think it does that, though. It does really, really well. And it's very different to what we offer in Australia, just because of those tropical fruit notes that it's giving off. So, yeah, it's very good. Excellent. Right.
So thank you so much for having me today to introduce Kavalan whiskey for you all. So if you have any questions, I would love to share with you.
Definitely. We have one from Shivy here from he said, quick question for Caitlin, what's your favourite Kavalan whiskey and why? Or maybe gin? It's up to you.
Oh, that is a very difficult question because if it's for a business occasion, I would choose Solis Port, Kavalan Solis Port. That one is a very great. Everyone knows port is kind of dessert wine. So after meal, if you can taste Kavalan Solis Port, and also just spend some time with your friends or your business partners, and pair with something like chocolate cake or coffee cake, dark chocolate together, it will be a very beautiful whiskey pairing and the food. So, but if for my daily life, I would love to drink Kavalan Artist Series Select #1 or #2 because that is more easy drinking, and I would love to make a highball by myself. So it's very easy. You just add soda and ice, and also the Kavalan Artist Series Select, and just make together, and you can have a very beautiful long drink to just open up a new day. So that will be the 3 Kavalan whiskeys are in my favorite list. Yeah, so this Port is fantastic. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know Kavalan Solis Port. Yeah, but actually they did a great job on both the flavors and also the aromas. I love the berries and also the marshmallows flavors from the whiskey. Yeah,
I think I really enjoy the solid port. I think that like Shivy here is actually quite excited because that's his favourite too. After asking that question, so he absolutely loves that one, and I believe he gets it for a good price as well through the whiskey company. So it's a terrific whiskey. Those Solus range, that Solus range you have is just exquisite. It's just incredible what they're bringing out the distillery. Have you got any new Solus products that are coming out?
Yeah. Solus 4 is coming.
Solus, from the
I have
Solus.
to ask Lydian one.
Lillian. I know we've got Madeira.
Yeah, Lillian.
I think we've got Madeira.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Soon. Yeah. There'll be a Madeira cask coming over very, very soon. And you've recently launched a peated version of your whiskey, haven't you? Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah, Lillian's confirmed Madeira cask. That's on its way. I'm looking for a thumbs up for the peated cask at some stage. But yeah, lots of really interesting Solus Cask Strength casks coming out, which is fantastic. You know, it's really good to be able to purchase them, particularly in small volumes. You know, like they're quite unique releases, which is great. You know? And I think the Amontillado is back again as well. So that was discontinued for a while, and you know, there's a bit of that available. So that cask strength range is good. So I'm gonna let Kaitlyn know as well. Whilst we're on here, we're actually launching for everybody on here tonight our very own Vino Barrique. So we bought a cask of Vino Barrique from the distillery. What we did was we have a competition at the whiskey company. We've just launched this competition, but we have a customer who we picked just to be the fall guy, the guy that does the hard work at the start for everyone and shows you what you can do. That every 6 months, so through the next 6 months from June 1st, if you buy a bottle of whiskey at the whiskey company, for every bottle you buy, you go in a draw. And at the end of 6 months, we'll pick one person from that draw. And so every single order that you do, we'll pick one person, and they'll get the chance to taste whiskey from any distillery there is in the world that we can get our hands on some casks. And you'll get 6 samples sent to you, and you'll choose one of those casks, and one of those casks will be bottled for you. So it will basically have your name on it, and it will say exclusively done for the whiskey company, but chosen by you. And you'll get one of those bottles, and then you'll get the chance to buy as many of those bottles as you want. So what we're doing tonight is we're releasing our very first Vino Barrique, which is Australian exclusive, and it's picked by a gentleman called Nick. So Nick's a big customer of ours, and he buys a lot of Kavalan, and we decided to honour Nick with his own bottle of Kavalan Vino Barrique. So that will be it. It will be launched tonight on our website, and then we won't actually tell the rest of the public about it until next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Next week sometime. So you've got the chance to pick up a bottle or a few bottles, and this one's only $2.50. So usually Vino Barrique in Australia is $2.99. These will be going for $2.50, and I think tonight you also get
tonight the opportunity to buy these Vino Barriques for a 10% discount with a code that I'm going to put in the chat just soon. So these will be going for $2.49 regular, plus you get the chance for the next 48 hours to get it for a 10% discount to get in early as participants of this great Kavalan tasting tonight. So I'll put the links in the chat, and if you're a big fan of the Vino Barrique, especially this exclusive one, then get on board.
Done. Yeah. So I think did this one start at all, Kaitlyn? Did this start the hype about Kavalan, would you have said?
Sorry,
Okay.
can you say that again?
Did this the Vino Barrique, was this the one that the distillery thinks that started it all? Did this start the Kavalan hype, and everybody wanted to drink Kavalan?
Yes. So before 2015, before Kavalan Solus Vino Barrique was awarded the best single malt whiskey, actually part of the globe still don't know the brand from Taiwan. Don't know we have Kavalan Artist Series in Taiwan. Starting from 2010 when Kavalan Classic topped the Times organized wine tasting in 2010, and it is chaired by Charles McLean. And that is the first time people heard about Kavalan. And in 2015, that is the turning point for this brand, because more and more people believe that a new world whiskey can be with high quality, world-class whiskey as well. Yeah, so it's I think Vino Barrique plays a huge part to switch the impression of Kavalan, and also for the new world whiskey.
Definitely. I mean, it was unfortunate here way back when just before Kavalan Vino Barrique won World's Best Whiskey. There was a business in Australia that was going back. It wasn't going out of business, but they were wrapping things up, and they were selling off the stock that they had left, and they had quite a number of Vino Barrique bottles and also solid sherry left that were there because nobody was really drinking it. And I think in the January I purchased it all off him because I had tasted it and I thought, this is amazing, I love this stuff. And but I couldn't sell it. I just couldn't sell it. Nobody had heard of it. It was really hard to do. And then 2 months later, it what do you call it? 2 months later, it won World's Best Whiskey, and you couldn't have enough of it. So it's amazing that those awards, and they do so well to put a distillery on the map. So it's really well done from the team there that they submit their whiskies to these awards. It's very expensive to do, but you've got a lot of confidence in what you're making. You submit them all and they do really well all the time, so the whole range is doing extremely well on those award type thing. But it's good to have our own cask, particularly for Australia. It's always good to offer something unique to all our customers, and this is great because Nick's very excited about it, and he's very honoured to have his name on a Kavalan bottle because like I said, he buys a lot of Kavalan and drinks a lot of Kavalan. So it's his go-to whiskey, and so much so, Nick was at a whiskey tasting. I was actually at a whiskey show once in Melbourne, and he walked up to Kaitlyn, and Kaitlyn showed him the Fino, the Kavalan Fino, and he tasted the Fino, and he said, "Oh, I really like that," and he went and bought a couple of bottles from the shop, and he took one of the bottles home, and as soon as he got home, he opened one, and much to his surprise, the bottles in the shop weren't the same as the bottles that were on the tasting, and he knew straight away that it's not the same. It's not the same cask. And he investigated it for a good couple of months, and eventually came back to us, who we'd just taken on Kavalan as the importer of Kavalan, and he was right. They were completely different casks and all that, and he just knew all about it, and it was great to understand that somebody was so into a distillery and so into his whiskey that he could just spot the difference between those casks and just understand, well, it wasn't what I tasted. Can you get me what I tasted? Because I loved it, So, and off we went to try and find that cask again, and succeeded because of Kaitlyn. But it was great. It was great to actually do that, and it's amazing that somebody can have their own name in a bottle that get so excited about Kavalan whiskey. So yeah. Was it Alan's actually said Vino Barrique converted one of my Isla friends, so obviously they were drinking Isla whiskey, and then gave them a drink of Vino Barrique, and that was it. Hooked on Vino Barrique. But always good. Lillian's teasing us with a picture of the Madeira cask at the moment. It's not here yet, Lillian.
Lillian,
we're hoping.
where are you?
Leave soon. Yeah.
So I would like to know, everyone, which one do you like the most in the Artist series?
Yeah, it'd be nice to find out what the favourites were.
The favorite one from the Artist series, we have the different expressions. Oh, Sarah Lens Virgin cask. Yeah, French wine cask. Actually, I really love the Paul Chiang cask. For me, Punching Cask. Virgin oak, Vino Barrique, virgin oak. Heated wings for me. Virgin cask, French wing cask. Wow. This side virgin oak got more votes from any other virgin. Which is this one? Simon. It's too hard to read.
It's the French one. Yeah.
French wine cask. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It was nice and fruity, that one. Taste. Yeah. It's a very good whiskey indeed.
Yeah.
Excellent. I
Virgin
actually really enjoyed
Fantastic.
finishing on that gin. It was nice to finish on the gin.
Yeah, super refreshing.
Really refreshes the palate, and you can jump back into whiskey again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Does anybody have any more questions for Kaitlyn? Big understanding that Kaitlyn today is like obviously Taiwan's been put into a bit of a lockdown now, so reduced staff at the distillery, I think, and everybody's got to start to watch what they're doing. We're kind of coming into that in Melbourne at the moment as well. We're doing very well here, and unfortunately, over the past couple of days, we're back to wearing masks again, etc. So we know how you feel over there at the moment, but yeah, it's good. It's good that we can still do this. It's still good that everybody can catch up and be quite safe in regards to still doing a whiskey tasting. But we're all hoping that all this goes away soon, and or it gets better, the situation, and you can travel over here and be with us again face to face, so that we can learn a little bit more off you about Kavalan. Yeah, definitely. But if nobody's got any more questions, we obviously stay on for the next 15 minutes. If anybody wants to have a chat, they're most welcome to stay on here. But I'm going to thank Kaitlyn from the Whiskey Company and from myself, and thanks everybody for tuning in with us tonight. And over to you, Kaitlyn.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I really look forward to visiting you in the near future. I really miss the days in Australia. I just saw my IG story that 2 years ago I was in Melbourne. Yeah, miss the days a lot. Yeah, hope to see you soon in the future.
Yeah.
And if you can come to Taiwan, that will be fantastic. Yeah, my house is just 5 minutes away from the distillery. So if you need a guided tour guide, and I would love to give you an in-depth distillery tour anytime.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. That's good. Definitely. We'll be over as soon as we can. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Everybody's welcome to stay on and have a chat if they want. You're most welcome to ask any questions that you want. But yeah, or else, thank you very much, and good night. I'm going to stop recording now.